On the surface, this YouTube channel from 2009 doesn't seem like anything interesting. It only has 4 public videos, each a window into an old, now forgotten version of Minecraft. But something is wrong with this footage. If you look closer, things aren't exactly as they seem. This channel is hiding a far more disturbing mystery under the surface, and it's time to uncover it. And the only way to do that is with the first video on Alex's channel, which is a slideshow innocently showcasing his Minecraft creations. But if we know anything about these sorts of mysteries, this isn't going to be an ordinary upload. On just the second image of the video, we get this title, Fort Knox, with a strange gray building off to the side. We'll come back to this in a second, but before we can think, the slides change, and we now get to see what's presumably the same gray building head on. The video then continues with shots of the building's interior, colorful walls, golden windows, but now we get text. Nice. You can drink legally, and a certified programmer. The second message is sent by someone with just the name empty, and you may notice the capitalization of the top name is equally cryptic, and we'll get back to that soon. The video continues though, and we're hit with this series of images, a long corridor lined with saplings, of which we get multiple angles, followed by a weirdly cropped top-down view of the city. There's a lot of slides that follow, but to highlight the important ones, just a minute in we can see a message from someone named Headshot, and in the very next picture we see a big rest in peace sign for someone with initials MJ. This is followed by another structure which seems like a shrine for a tree, mentions of a secret, followed by yet another image of a shrine for some flowers with a player named Destruction leaving the game. The video then ends with Alex's best creation yet, a shiny Rattata. There's no question that something odd is going on here. Something is very wrong with this video, but the clues are encrypted by multiple layers, so we'll have to peel them back one by one. I mentioned earlier that this gray building we saw at the beginning was likely called Fort Knox, and if you don't know, this isn't some arbitrary name. In real life, Fort Knox is a location in the United States, labeled as one of the most secure and hard to break in places in the entire world, often confused as a building holding large amounts of gold. So if Alex found it important enough for the first image he shows us to be this fort, it has to mean something to the story, and that's exactly where these chat messages come in. The contents of the messages themselves aren't actually the important part. What's important are the names of the players, specifically empty. That's no ordinary username that a player would just have, and it's no coincidence that this is the last image we see of the interior of the fort. Alex is trying to tell us that this secure base was robbed. It's empty. Something has been stolen, and it may be by whoever this A person is that we can see in the next image. Though I get that this seems like a bit of a stretch. Is that really what this username is telling us, that someone robbed this vault? Well, there's actually a way to confirm this. The other username in the screenshot is strange. It's clearly some sort of code, but only taking the capital letters gives us ALARX. Seems like gibberish, and try as I might, no cipher identifier could figure out what this code was. It almost seemed like there was no meaning there, it was just nonsense. But then it clicked. No cipher could be identified because it's not just one code, it's 2. Splitting this string into 2 parts, ALAR and X, we can see what Alex is trying to tell us. If you assign a numerical value to each letter of the alphabet such that A is 1, B is 2, and so on until Z is 26, ALAR gets a value of 32, and X a value of 24. 32 minus 24 is 8, and Caesar shifting ALAR by 8 letters gives us this string. It is empty. Now, without a doubt, we can confirm that Alex is telling us that something was stolen. This secure vault is empty because someone took from it. But what did they take, and who was the one who stole it? To answer that, we have to turn our attention to the other big detail of this video, the plants. In every screenshot we see Alex has a rose in his hotbar, and this can't be a coincidence. This odd building with saplings gets showcased 3 times from different angles. It has to mean something. and same thing for the shrine with the tree and shrine with the flowers. But I don't know what Alex is trying to tell us with it all. That alone isn't enough to solve this mystery, and we also have this other detail about the supposed MJ who passed away, but how does that relate at all to the robbery of this fort? There's just too many questions to resolve right away, so we'll have to watch the next video. This video is by far the strangest one. It's gameplay of none other than the game's creator, Notch, parading around the city we saw in the previous video. The entire footage is them following Notch around before finally kicking him from the server, and the video then ends. This footage doesn't have much for us to go off besides Notch taking a weird fascination in this cobblestone cross-shaped window, but we hit the jackpot when Alex opens chat and we can read this. Oh, my base is removed again. My pride and joy. This is big. If we're following this correctly, Alex could be saying that HS Comedian and Snowman have something to do with the robbery of Fort Knox. Specifically, they were the ones who oversaw the fort and were robbed from and griefed. But that still doesn't answer who stole from them and what they stole. And now that we think about it, the inclusion of Notch in this video is very odd. Though the fact that the creator of Minecraft showed up to the server must have meant that it was holding on to something very valuable. Something that HS Comedian and Snowman were trying to protect, but was stolen from them. But the biggest mystery of this video isn't actually in the footage, it's in the description. Scrolling down, we can find this, a link to a channel called Torlek's blog. Here, we'll surely be able to get more details as to what's happening in this whole world, and... oh. It's dead. Never mind. This ARG is so scattered. They're dropping way too many loose threads in video 1. The trees, the death of MJ, the bank robbery, and now Notch is here? Like, what are we supposed to make from this? Well, solving this won't be easy, but if there's any way forward, it's through this third video. The footage is of a world completely made of wood, with Alex following this player named Eddie. The description confirms that these two are likely the two griefers who stole from Fort Knox, and if you find them, you should ban them immediately. This checks out with what we already know. The fort was robbed and something was stolen, but he doesn't tell us anything new. There's no info here, no conversation, really nothing useful we can gather. I mean, yeah, we have a name for the robbers, but really? That's it? There's only one video left on Alex's channel. If there's any way to solve this mystery, it'll be here, but did I really not miss anything? The story seems so clear. The path we follow to the clues makes perfect sense, but I mean, what if there is no mystery? Sure, Fort Knox is a real place, but what if it was just a build and that's that? Yeah, the usernames were weird, but it's early Minecraft. I mean, this video is from 2009. Simple usernames like empty were commonplace, and so was alternating capitalization. Yeah, ALARX seemed so obviously a clue at the time, but what if it was never meant to be a code? But wait, what about the death? What about Headshot and MJ? Well, maybe that's just another normal username, and MJ is Michael Jackson, who did live from 1958 to 2009, so that's not anything cryptic either. Maybe there isn't anything weird on this channel at all. Maybe it's just normal gameplay from early Minecraft, plain and simple. No, that can't be it. No, that can't be it. Because of one thing, the trees. In every shot, Alex always has flowers in his inventory. There's shrines for trees and plants, destruction leaving the game at the perfect moment, and then Notch getting fixated on that cross. There's something hiding here. I know it, and I can prove it. All we need is to watch Alex's last video. The video is a time-lapse of builds from Alex's server, from some isometric perspective. At first, nothing interesting happens, but then we see this. Evil is built, an obvious clue. But besides that, no new information. The video ends with no leads and nothing new for us to go off of, which can only mean one thing. Hiding in this time-lapse is the key to solving this mystery. Maybe one of these builds will show us who robbed Fort Knox, and maybe another one is what they stole. Maybe this player is the criminal skin. Maybe... Maybe there's nothing. Gosh, what am I saying? This ARG is so brain dead. I mean, the clues make no sense. They're changing theme all the time. First the robbery, then cult, and then Notch. There's no cohesion. It's just nonsense. I mean, it's almost like there's no story here at all, and it's just gameplay of Minecraft. I mean, that's what all this brain dead evidence would lead you to believe. Wait. That's what this evidence would lead you to believe. Would lead you to believe. Would! I got it! It's always been the wood. Oh my god, it's so straightforward. How did I not see it earlier? The answer has been in plain sight all along. The big fighting ring after the robbery with a giant A. The entire time, the robber of Fort Knox was A. Alex himself. I mean, just think about it. At the very beginning of the time-lapse, guess what was built right before we got the message about evil? Fort Knox. It's so obvious Alex is calling Fort Knox evil. This is the evil being built. Alex has always been the one with flowers in his inventory in every single screenshot. His signature block, as we know, is cobblestone, the exact same block used to create the tree farm we saw earlier, and of course, it's the plants and the wood that have been driving him to do this. I mean, he has a shrine dedicated to a tree and an entire plantation for growing them. Oh, it's so clear. And speaking of Notch, what does he famously drop when killed? An apple, just like a tree does. That's exactly what Alex was trying to tell us. The episode with the griefers, it was so obvious. Look at the floor. It's totally all made of wood. This is Alex's private headquarters for his cult. If Alex was so hell-bent about banning these two griefers, why didn't he do it then and there on camera? Well, it's because they actually work under him. They are part of his tree cult. He would never actually ban them from his server. He's just covering his tracks so he doesn't get linked to the robbery. And if you want further proof, take one look at the standout feature of this time-lapse, the arrow. And what is it pointing to? A tree covered in diamonds. Diamonds Alex and his tree cult stole from Fort Knox. I'd even wager this entire series is a metaphor for the detrimental effects of capitalism on the environment. Alex is convinced that money and banks and the financial system as a whole is profiting off of destroying our world, destroying the trees that breathe life into our atmosphere, and he's fighting back against it. He's robbing those in power of their wealth to save all the trees, and he isn't being subtle. He wants us to see this. Only when all the plants and this Terra project finally succeed and everything is restored will the destruction finally end. And you know what? I bet Ratata is part of it too. That's Alex's message. Alex is fighting back. He's stealing from the rich who are ruining this planet. It's so obvious. How did I not notice this sooner? Wifies, you know it's really nothing, right? What? You know there's no mystery here. Why keep deluding yourself? Are you kidding? Look at the evidence. It's pretty clear this is anti-capitalist propaganda with environmental undertones. It's practically screaming at us. I don't know how you don't see it. Wifies, there's nothing there. No, there is. You don't get it. I thought so too at first. I was just like you. But I thought that maybe if I just dug deeper. Dug deeper? Wifies? You've dug deep enough. There's nothing to find here, and we both know it. I don't believe you. Admit it, Wifies. There's nothing. No mystery. This is just a normal channel. Wait, who are you? That's not important. Wait, and where am I? 1 second ago, I was just recording this video, and the other second I'm here? Who are you? And who are they? What the? What the f? Where am I? Hey, you, where am I? Who are you? Hey, hello? Hello, where am I? This is ridiculous. I'm logging off. I would advise you not to do that. Where'd you come from? Oh, there you are. Who are you? Dude, is this some sort of joke? Like, do I know you? What am I here for? Can I leave? Like, I don't understand. This is just, I have class to get to, so can we do this another time? I'll just log back onto the server. I don't know why I'm here. Wifies. Smile for me. What did you say?